Okay, some of my viewers are probably not going to like this question, but you know we believe in free speech, zero censorship, so you can state your case in the comments. I'll try my best to respond to those, but I want to ask, with Trump now suggesting that the crime rate in D.C. has gotten out of hand, he's going to deploy the National Guard. Now, whether or not the National Guard or even the FBI, because I believe he sent the FBI to also work right alongside with patrol officers. The whole goal is to bring down crime in D.C. Hell of a lot of people favor what he's doing. If the mayor is not taking care of the city, then we should be applauding the fact that we have a president that's going to step in and bring crime down and make things safe for everybody. This is what Trump is doing. This is what a whole lot of folks, particularly on the right, are championing. Now, a few months ago, you may be aware that there were protests and riots taking place in a small portion of Los Angeles, predominantly downtown. Once again, President Trump, believing that the citizens in that area were not being safeguarded properly, he deployed the National Guard to California, even against the wishes of both the mayor of Los Angeles and Gavin Newsom being the governor of California. He went around them and deployed the National Guard anyway. And once again, many folks who support Trump championed his efforts, suggesting that once again, if the governor and the mayor is not going to do right by the town, then damn it, it's great to have a president step up and do the right thing for the people that are there. Now, I believe he's also deployed the National Guard to the border as well, to the southern border, to make sure, once again, this country is safe from individuals entering this country illegally. Namely, folks that we don't know that have not been vetted, or as you hear him say, they're emptying insane asylums and prisons, letting in the bad hombres. So, once again, deploying the National Guard to make us safe is President Trump. His supporters love all of this. Now, this is going to lead probably where some of you already understand where I'm going. Why the hell did he not deploy the National Guard on January 6th? Does it sound, based on what he's doing now, that deploying the National Guard is a job that is reserved to the Speaker of the House? Do you hear Mike Johnson's name being mentioned in any of these deployments at all? President Trump has shown in his second term that he absolutely had the power to deploy the National Guard on January 6th during his first term. Unless you can point to some major legislation that has been passed since January 6th under the Biden administration, giving the president the power to deploy National Guard, irrespective of how the mayor or governor feels in those areas. Can you name any legislation at all? Because Trump is on a National Guard deployment spree all of a sudden. My humble opinion is, and this is where I know some folks may not like this, but the difference is he views what is taking place in D.C., he views what was taking place in Los Angeles. He also views what is taking place on the southern border as acts committed by criminals, folks that are bad hombres, as he says. What happened on January 6th? He didn't view those people as criminals. That's why he did not deploy the National Guard on January 6th, and he's doing it on all these other areas. Not to mention, since January 6th, he has done nothing but spoken favorably of the protesters and rioters on January 6th. He's not said a bad thing about any of them. And then, of course, he obviously pardoned them. So it's pretty clear where Trump's head is on this. He had the ability to provide the National Guard on January 6th, and he chose not to because he viewed them as friends, and he views the people in Los Angeles and D.C. and at the border as foes. Somebody let me know what I'm getting wrong. Let me know, based on what you've seen out of the 7 months Trump has now been in office, if you still believe that on January 6th he had no power to deploy the National Guard. And if you believe that, I'd sure as hell like to know why. What has changed from January 6th, where he's saying he couldn't deploy the National Guard, to August 2025, where he's doing it all damn day, anytime he wants to? What has changed? Because I'm not seeing it. Let me know in the comments. As always, feel free to smash that like button, subscribe to the damn channel, and I'll see you in the next video. If you believe he was telling the truth, I want to hear that.